Tonight, we report on how the Moses Lake School District saved taxpayers money by refinancing bonds, and a Mattawa man heads to prison for taking part in a drive-by shooting. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Local high school baseball and softball teams go down in defeat, but Quincy Soccer chalks up a W in Sela. Here's a quick glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, meteorologist Mike Sines here with you. Mostly clear skies today as high pressure continues to remain in control. I'm tracking our next rainmaker coming up in weather.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Police reportedly found heroin and methamphetamine during a search of a Moses Lake residence. Moses Lake police obtained a search warrant on Sunday for a home in the 9700 block of Olympic Drive Northeast after receiving information about people selling drugs there. Officers claim to have found about an ounce of heroin, 10 grams of meth, $9,000, a .22 caliber pistol, ammunition, and a stolen go-kart. Salvador Contreras Aguilar, a 23-year-old Moses Lake man, was arrested for possession with intent to deliver heroin and methamphetamine. Police are looking for his brother, Adrian Contreras Garcia, a 32-year-old Moses Lake man. Soap Lake Elementary School held their annual science fair last week, where both students and parents showed their projects. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
Soap Lake Elementary School hosted their annual Family Night Science Fair, but with a bit of a twist. Instead of the students putting on the experiments, members of the Parents for Teachers organization spent the evening showing kids how science can be fun. Experiments included raisins dancing in soda water, using air to move a ping pong ball between cups, using marshmallows and noodles to build complex structures, and of course the classic flubber. Students also contributed with their own class experiments that covered everything from gravity and aerodynamics to non-Newtonian solids and even fluid dynamics.
Okay, so what do these two have in common on your little chart photo?
Organizers said the fair was a chance for parents to take the role of being a teacher and help develop new ways for the community to be involved in education in fun and different ways. In Soap Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
The Moses Lake School District is saving taxpayers more than $1 million over the next 12 years after refinancing its 2008 bonds. The Moses Lake District School Board of Directors approved the refinancing, and officials from Piper Jeffrey and International Investment Bank completed the transaction on March 31st. According to Superintendent Michelle Price, to refinance, the district issued $6.3 million in refunding bonds at an interest rate of 2.06%. The original 2008 bonds came with an interest rate of 4.73%. Price said the money saved by the refinance cannot be used on current district expenses and will go to taxpayers through reduced tax levies until 2028. A Soap Lake man was injured in a collision on State Route 283 about 4 miles north of George. Kevin Hansen, a 56-year-old man, was riding a 2004 Kawasaki Volcan motorcycle north on SR 283 on Friday when he reportedly collided with a 1998 Toyota Corolla crossing the highway at Adams Road. According to the Washington State Patrol, Hansen was injured and taken to Quincy Valley Medical Center. The driver of the Toyota, Daniela Ramos Juarez, a 22-year-old Warden woman, was not hurt. The State Patrol issued Ramos Juarez a ticket for failing to yield the right-of-way. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
Are you prepared to pay your capital gains? I'm ABC's Chief Business and Economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis with today's tax tip. 2014 was a record-breaking year for U.S. stock markets. Investors who cashed in on all the good times will likely be paying taxes on those gains. Kiplinger's Kevin McCormley.
The top tax rate on capital gains is 23%.
But there are ways around paying the price. H&R Block's Kathy Pickering says if you thought ahead, you sold some of your losers before the year ended.
If you had some gains and then you could also sell some stocks at a loss to offset that, that's a great strategy.
Gift wrapping your gains may be a better bet, says Tom Wheelwright, founder of CPA firm Provision.
If you gift stock, instead of having to pick up the gain and then get a deduction, you don't have to pick up a gain, but you get a deduction for the full value of the stock. So you're not picking up gain and getting a deduction, so you get a double benefit.
With today's tax tip, Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News.
Now for your iFIBER 1 News Weather Center forecast.
This weather segment brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. I'm meteorologist Mike Sines with a look at our weather headlines. We are going to see that high pressure is going to remain in control throughout our region. Now, we are going to see an increase in temperature, and the temperatures are actually going to be 20 degrees above the average. I'll talk about more about that last bullet as we head into our 7-day outlook. Taking a look at our almanac for us here in Ephrata, though. We reached my forecasted low of 37 degrees this morning. As far as in the rain gauge, we ended up getting 1/10 of an inch. 0.11 to be exact. As you can see, the sun will set for us at 7:37. And the record high was set back in 1977 of 76 degrees. But look at the average temperature. It's 60. Keep this number in mind as I get to my 7-day. I'm going to reference back to it. Right now outside, though, it's nice. Mostly cloudy skies, peaks of sun, 62. So it's definitely a nice day out there and a nice evening. As we take a look at our Futurecast model, though, you do see a system here. It's a low-pressure system, but we have high pressure and control. High pressure and control means that all of this activity is actually going to be moving up northward as it does so with those winds pushing on in and causing that system to shift northward into Canada, bringing with it clear skies for us here locally. So it's going to be looking like a very nice next few days. A few spotted clouds here and there. However, mostly sunny skies will prevail. As we take a look at my forecast for tomorrow. Gorgeous day out towards Long Beach, 66. Port Angeles, 60. Yakima, 77. 71 out towards Tri-Cities. Taking a closer look at our viewing area here, we are going to see out towards Royal City, 72. Moses Lake, 72. Ephrata, 71. Mostly cloudy skies. And here's the thing, even though our model here is showing mostly cloudy skies, it's going to be one of those days where we're going to actually see peaks of sun and clouds. So it's going to be a mixture of the two. It's not going to be a day where it's just going to be completely cloudy and real dreary. We are going to see the sun that'll peek through those clouds, and it's going to be looking like a very nice day as we head into tomorrow. Here's a look at my extended outlook, and you are going to see that rise in temperatures that I'll mention briefly. Saturday, we are going to see partly cloudy skies and a dip in the temperatures. But let's go back here. Thursday, mostly sunny skies, mostly sunny for Friday. More sun Thursday. Temperatures 80 for the high on Thursday. Friday, 82. Our average is 60. So that's 20 degrees above the average. Just be sure to stay hydrated. It's going to get hot in the terms of temperatures because we are going to see that increase and that jump in the temperatures. So just be prepared. Slight chance of showers as we head into next week with a cold front. Sports is coming up next.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalence to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
Moses Lake dropped a twin bill to Wenatchee to fall to 2-4 in the Big 9 League standings.
The Panthers got past the Chiefs 6-2 in the opener and then blew out Moses Lake 12-0 in the nightcap. Wenatchee combined for 24 hits in the 2 ball games. Cameron Duke had 3 of the Chiefs' 4 hits on the afternoon. 6 errors on the day didn't help matters much for Moses Lake. Cade Tunstall walked 2, fanned 2, and gave up 5 runs over 6 innings and was tagged with the loss in Game 1. Jordan Rios gave up 8 runs off 10 hits in the top of the first and was hit with the loss in Game 2.
Moses Lake is back on the diamond today at Larson Field for a single game with Sunnyside. First pitch is 4 o'clock. Well, it was a battle of the unbeaten when Ephrata hit the road for a doubleheader at Ellensburg on Saturday. Both teams came into the contest with 6-0 records, but it was the home team pulling out a couple of close wins. Pinch runner Daniel Kajorsic scored the winning run in the bottom of the 8th, and the Bulldogs escaped with a 6-5 win in Game 1. Ellensburg hung a run on the board in the 6th and 7th innings to complete the 4-2 comeback win in the nightcap. Ephrata looks to get back in the win column tonight when the Tigers host a single non-league game with WF West at 6. The Lady Tigers were bounced from the undefeated ranks in the CWAC League standings with dual losses to Othello. The Huskies dominated both contests, taking the first 10-0 and the second 15-0. Othello pounded out 28 hits in the doubleheader and held Ephrata to just 6 in the 2 ball games. The Tigers are out of action this week, but get back at it April the 12th for a home doubleheader with the Prosser Mustangs. Well, the Jacks blanked the Vikings 5-0 on the pitch in Sela. Kevin Rejos got Quincy on the board off a Francisco Alejandro's assist 17 minutes into the fuss. It was the only goal of the first half. Back-to-back goals from Alejandros at the 41st and 44th minute made it 3-0 Jacks. Alejandros pulled off the hat trick a minute later to push the tally to 4-0. Freddie Ruiz rounded out the scoring with a blast from 20 yards out, and the Jacks closed out their non-league schedule with a victory. Quincy opens league play at home Saturday against the Prosser Mustangs. Well, U.S. soccer star Abby Wambach has been arrested for alleged drunk driving. Officials say she was taken to the Multnomah County Jail in Portland at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. Wambach was later released on her own recognizances. Wambach is one of the most decorated female soccer players in the world. Prior to her retirement last year, she clinched 2 Olympic gold medals and 1 World Cup title. Wambach was also declared FIFA's Female World Player of the Year for 2012. We'll be back after this short break.
Whether you're looking for a bigger car to support your growing family, a new truck for your business, or something to pull that toy of yours, we've got you covered at Barry Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Ephrata. Come see us today and learn why your family, friends, and neighbors buy their cars at Barry. On Basin Street for more than 35 years, and with locations in Moses Lake and Wenatchee, we are one great place to buy a car. Call or click 754-2411 or barrysaves.com.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
Our spotlight story tonight is about one of the largest farms in Grant County getting ready for its 2016 potato crop. The owner discusses some of the challenges and changes this year. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
According to data from the 2012 agricultural census, nearly 1 million acres of Grant County is used exclusively for agriculture. In 2012, more than 1,500 Grant County farms generated about $1.8 billion worth of produce and livestock sold around the world. With the arrival of a new spring, farmers are hard at work putting down crops and caring for them over the next 6 months to make sure they're ready for harvest in the fall. Moses Lake's Freya Farms is one of the largest in Grant County, with an operation taking up thousands of acres over hundreds of square miles. The farm began putting down their 2016 potato crop this week, and manager Travis Meacham talked about the challenges facing it and the many other crops Freya produces.
So pretty excited about the weather this year. We've had good winter moisture. So far the spring is looking really good, and all that is lining up pretty good. As far as crop-wise and price-wise, aren't quite as excited. Some of the commodity prices aren't up there. Wheat and corn are off. Potatoes aren't quite where we want to be, but we're still going to go out there and grow a good crop and see what we can do. So weather-wise, things look great, but for some of the crops, a little concerned. It'll probably take 4 to 5 weeks to get all our potatoes in the ground. And then after that, we start planting sweet corn and moving on to other things. We already got all the wheat planted and in the ground this spring, so looking in good shape there.
For most of its history, the land around Moses Lake was considered too bleak and desolate for anyone to live, let alone grow food on any sort of scale. Meacham said the addition of a key element changed all that after the Great Depression and made Grant County a key spot for agricultural production.
It's water. That's what changed the whole Columbia Basin. That's what changed Grant County, is the irrigation project coming down the Columbia River, having irrigation on this ground. So this is great ground, but it needs water added to it to be productive. Water has changed this county, this area of the world greatly, and I think greatly for the good. We are one of the best agriculture producing areas in all of the world, and we have a great climate, but water is what gives that to us. And we can actually manage our water better than other areas of the country where they're relying on Mother Nature to supply it. And so the irrigation project is wonderful for Grant County.
Along with water, Meacham said it's vital to the long-term stability of the farm to make sure every acre of land is properly treated to ensure it remains healthy enough to support crops year after year.
There's very few farmers, if any, anywhere that don't realize that land is a very important resource for them. We need land to produce food, and that's going to happen for hundreds of thousands of years in the future, and the way that we're going to grow that is on the land that we have today. And so farmers in general think about that a lot, and how they protect the land and how they're going to have the land for their future generations.
For Meacham, the fun in his job comes from being part of an industry which is essential to everyone, not just in Grant County, but everywhere else.
So I think the most exciting thing is I'm helping produce something that everybody uses, everybody eats. I mean, that's something that's not going to go away in the future. It's not a fad. You know, things can go up and down, but it's something that everybody deals with, and everybody has a familiarity with food and what they want from it. And I think that's great that I can help produce something that touches everybody's life.
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back after this.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
Welcome back. Representative Tom Dent's bill was made into law, allowing people to save their livestock on state land during wildfires. Governor Jay Inslee recently signed the bill. House Bill 2925 requires the State Department of Natural Resources to allow people to access the land they are renting from the state to either move or care for their livestock during wildfires. The department leases roughly 1.1 million acres of state land to people grazing livestock or raising crops. People entering an area to retrieve their livestock cannot sue the state if they're harmed, or their families sue if the rancher is killed by fire. Dent stated people should be allowed to save their animals. The new law goes into effect in June. A man is serving nearly 10 years in prison for his part in a drive-by shooting in Shawana. Carlos Mendoza, a 21-year-old Mattawa resident, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to assault in the first degree. Prosecutors initially charged Mendoza with drive-by shooting as well, but the charge was dropped as part of a plea agreement. Mendoza's co-defendant Antonio Martinez, an 18-year-old Mattawa resident, pleaded guilty to assault in the second degree and was sentenced to 8 months in jail. Mendoza started a fight at the Shawana gas station. He and Martinez got into a car, drew a pistol from the glove box, and chased the victim, who had driven away. Mendoza fired twice at the car. When the victim pulled into a driveway, Mendoza continued to fire at the car, hitting it once. The victims ran into the home to escape. In Northwest news, Alaska Airlines is buying out competitor Virgin America in a deal worth an estimated $2.6 billion. Como's Brad Good talked with Alaska Airlines CEO about what this means for passengers and the future of both airlines.
Alaska Airlines says buying Virgin America was a hard-fought battle with other airlines bidding, but it landed a deal that boosts its West Coast footprint in a big way. Now, Alaska Airlines will offer 1,200 daily flights with major routes added out of California.
This deal really gives us California. One small example, if you take the San Francisco airport, today Alaska Airlines flies to one of the top 10 destinations out of San Francisco. With this deal, we'll fly to all 10 of the top 10 destinations.
Virgin America's 3,000 employees and 280 Airbus jets come with the deal, making the combined company the 5th largest airline now in the U.S. I asked CEO Tilden if bigger is necessarily better for passengers.
We're making a number of changes I hope our customers have noticed to improve the onboard experience. We've improved the seats and the bins and the seat power. Tom Douglas is on the airplane, so we've got better food, we've got better wine. So we're competing as hard as we can to make this a great airline for our customers, and I just see that getting better.
Tilden admits some duplication of jobs could mean small layoffs when the deal is complete into next year. But he promises Alaska Airlines will remain headquartered in Seattle and result in adding anywhere from 100 to 200 jobs here as well.
An act of kindness by a police officer has made one little girl's wish come true. She suffers from a condition that causes hair loss. She was raising money for a wig when the officer stepped in to help.
Get some keys, sir.
When Officer Ramon Lamelli starts his shift, he never knows what that day will bring.
We try our best to make a good impact.
But in his 8 years with LAPD, one day stands out for the better.
There she is.
The day he met 9-year-old Brianna.
Oh my God, you look beautiful.
Brianna has a medical condition called alopecia universalis. It means her body doesn't grow hair. She says other kids at school make fun of her.
I have no hair, that's why they bully me.
So Officer Lomelli had to do something. You see, he originally met Brianna back around Christmas time when she was selling candy trying to raise money for a wig.
As a parent, it breaks your heart.
So he bought her Christmas gifts and gave her $100. She got this dress for her birthday.
You should have seen her eyes, they just glowed, you know.
And that would have been enough to tell this story. But Officer Lomelli felt he could still do more to get her that wig.
I went home and it was Brianna in the back of my head. You got to do something about it, right?
He told his supervisor, who told his friend, who decided to help donate a wig.
I wanted to help because I think it's really important for people to know that there is a human on the other side of the badge.
And so, months after their first meeting, Officer Lomelli is back with Brianna, measuring her head for the very wig she always wished for.
I try to be strong.
Brianna's mom says it will make her daughter feel beautiful.
I told him that I'm very grateful to him for caring.
And that is just another day on the job.
That's going to do it here for us at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.